How's everyone doing? My name's Ryan Bradford, and today I'm going to show you guys how I record one of my songs. It's going to be acoustic guitar and just vocals, but I'll show you how I process everything and how I record everything and how I set up everything. Now, I've only been doing this for about a year, so I'm no expert, and I've taught myself everything. I've just learned it by going on the internet and just trial by error, basically. So bear with me, and if you have any suggestions to make anything better, then that would be awesome, but if you're just here to watch, that's cool too, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, so first things first, let's show you my gear that I'm going to be using. The one on the bottom is the Fireface 800, and then we have two preamps, the Great River MP500 NVs, and two compressors, the API 527s. I have two microphones that I'm going to be working with today. I have the MicTech CV4, and I have the AKG C414. So those are what I'm going to be using to record the acoustic guitar. Now let's get into the actual recording. Alright guys, so here I am. I have my microphone set up. Basically I'm just recording my acoustic guitar as just a regular stereo image. My MicTech is set up at my 12th fret. It's aiming straight at my 12th fret, and it's about 8 inches away from my guitar fretboard. And my AKG C414 is set up right aiming at the bridge of my guitar, and that's about 8 inches away as well. So now that I have everything set up and I know how I'm going to play, I'm going to set the volumes for the microphones and get everything right with compression and everything. Alright guys, how's it going? Now we're taking a look at my gear right now, and I'm behind the two microphones with my acoustic guitar. And as you can tell, those greens and all those little flashing lights are registering. So the first thing I'm paying attention to is the preamps. I'm just trying to get everything in the 4 greens, or maybe the yellows. Yellows are also good. So as you can see, the one on the right is a little higher. It's going in the yellows. So I'm going to switch over the one to the left a little click, so we have a little bit more gain and the microphone's picking up a little bit more. So now we're getting it, and no matter how hard I strum, it's not going into the reds, so we're good there. And then the next thing we're going to take a look at are the two other pieces with the red lights. Now every time you see one of the lights go off, that means it's compressing. So I want it to compress a good 6 dBs so that my guitar doesn't overpower and it adds a little nice effect to the guitar, and I don't have to worry so much about clipping into my DAW. So when I play, both of the compressors are working at basically an equal amount, so I think we're set there. I have the ratio at 2.5 to 1, so for every 2.5 dBs that goes in, 1 comes out. So that's a good compression that I found for the acoustic guitar, because it doesn't take away the character of the guitar, and it just kind of keeps it a little more natural. And if you compress a lot more, then it's going to sound a little weird, so I'm keeping the natural aspect. So now that I got everything set up right here, we are going to take a look at my DAW for the final volume set. Alright guys, so now I'm taking a look at my DAW. I am using Logic, and the one on the left is that we're looking at. That's the one that's press and record, and basically I want to make sure that the left and the right channel are the same volume, so one is not overpowering. So you can see the two lines, the two individual lines on the audio 1 on the left, and as I'm playing, seems that the one on the left is a little bit lower, so all I have to do is change my output cowl on my left preamp just a tiny bit, and we should be ready to go, and the volume should be pretty set. If we'll test it one more time. Yeah, those seem very, very even, so now we're going to be able to go ahead and record. Alright guys, so now I am recording on the computer right now, and I have a metronome going on in my ears right now, and the guitar is muted so I can't hear it. All I can hear is just from real life. So that helps me stay on tempo a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording to the metronome. And here we go. Alright guys, so I'm about to record the vocal track. I'm trying to record a good 6 inches away from the microphone. That's what it feels like is the best for me. I don't have too good of a room, so we'll work with it, but yeah, I'm trying to stay 6 inches away. Hey there, Miss June, I've got some news for you. Alright guys, so I have everything laid out right here. I have the acoustic guitar track on the top right here, right up there, and then the vocals are right beneath them. And I did a few takes just to get everything presentable and got everything ready for you. So the first thing that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to open up the mixer, and there's no editing that's happened at all. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to just go ahead and get done the acoustic guitar. I'm going to open up an EQ because it's already been compressed while I was tracking, so I don't need to compress it again. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn on the equalizer. And I always want a high pass filter, so I roll off the bottom end until you basically start hearing the guitar change in tone, and then I basically stop at that point. So basically I got all the way up to 100 Hertz, and at this point there's still a bunch going over, so I'm gonna take around 200 Hertz and drag it down a little bit. Same with around 250. And I really like I like cutting off instead of boosting certain frequencies, because if you boost frequencies, it can really hurt the end result of the mix. So you really just want to focus on cutting, if anything, when you're EQing. Alright, so that's just a little EQ that I'm going to do for the guitar. And the next thing that I'm going to do is go straight and EQ the vocals. So the first thing I'm going to do for this is the same thing. Hey there, Miss June. I found for my vocals, I always like to roll off from 150 down, 150 Hertz down. And for the rest of the vocals, got some news for you. I like to take down around 5K because that's where all the sibilance is in my voice, and sometimes I have a lot of it. I'm very breathy. So I take down around there. I always normally take down around 300. I know I've been wrong, but in this case around 500, 600. There's a little extra in that region, so I'm gonna take it down just a little bit. I know I've been wrong, I know I've been right. So that's gonna be it for the EQ. I'm just gonna take down the high end too, just so it's not as airy. Not too much going on with that. Also, the next thing that I can do is I want to add a little reverb. So reverbs you always want to put into the sends. You don't put it on the actual vocal tracks. So I'm going to send my vocals and my guitar to both to bus 1. And that is this new track that just popped up. And I'm going to put a reverb on this track. I put lexicon. I'm going to do a room. And I always like doing large spaces with a small auditorium. I put the reverb level around 7.5 dB. I don't know if you guys can see this that well, but I take the reverb time. I always like going up to like 1.2 seconds. I think that that's a fair amount of what I like to do. So first I'm going to listen to the guitar. I'm going to turn up the send. The sends right here, I don't even know what it's called, that's how novice I am. But I'm going to turn it up until I start to hear it. I think I hear it. See, when I pause it right there, you can hear a little echo, so I just like to add a little reverb so it's not a dry acoustic guitar. The next thing, I can do the same thing with my vocals. I'm going to do that with my vocals too.
Hey there, Miss June, I've got some news for you. I know I've been wrong, yeah. I know I've been right.
So I can start to hear the vocals with the reverb, but when you add reverb, you really need a de-esser. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Sonic's de-esser, and basically this pops up, and the sibilance is when you hear the S's in the voice. So it's already in the 5K region, that's where the sibilance is, so you can see this little thing, it's like a red line that pushes it down, and I'm going to go ahead and tamper with that.
Got some news for you. I know I've been wrong, yeah. Hey there, Miss June, I've got some news.
Alright, so it took it down a little bit, and that's all I wanted. I don't want to completely crush the S's. I like a little sibilance, to be honest. But, so that's all I have to do is play the first little to get the most effects that I want. I think it cut out, but so far we just have EQ, compression, a little reverb, and a de-esser on my vocals. So that's all I did with my with everything. So the last thing that I do, I'm not really good at mastering, so I don't even try really. I know a lot of there's multi-band compressors, and those are very good to use. But to be honest, I only do acoustic stuff a lot of the time, so I don't really compress when I master, even though I probably should. But I don't really know how to do it, so I'm just going to do the loudness maximizer. I always put it, the margin is negative 0.2 dB, so it just kind of stops right there. That's where it brick walls. And then to figure out how loud I want it, I just go to maybe the loudest part of my song. Let's see right here.
Please tell.
And then I pull down the threshold right here, and that makes it louder right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
And I'm sorry for causing you stress and taking your time out, but please don't leave, I'm yours.
Okay, so it only went down at, here, let me bring that back up. Right about here, it only said it took it down like negative 5 dBs, so that's kind of where I always lie when I'm doing my mastering. I only want it to be maybe cutting out a maximum of 5 dBs, and that could be like just like a peak in the guitar or something, which I don't really mind because it keeps the guitar sounding natural. It just makes this overall song louder. So now after I do that, I basically just export the song. I'll do a little fade out at the end, or something like that. But yeah, I just find the starts and the ends to the song, and I export it, and basically that's all I do with my song. So yeah, I'll let you guys hear a little sample of the final product right here.
There, Miss June, I've got some news for you. I know I've been wrong, yeah. I know I've been writing this song. Forgive my late note, I promise to clarify. I'm gonna break free from my chains. I said break free from my chains tonight. So this is my apology. I'm sorry for making you cry, making you deal with me tonight. And I'm sorry for causing you stress and taking your time.